Morning of the last day. We're getting a few modifications done to the crossover tube. Touching a few things up, working on running battery cables finally. That's pretty exciting. So yeah, we're just solving some clearance issues with I think plug angle. Kind of a thing with this new turbo manifold. Stock one on this side, so that's pretty easy. But yeah, I think we're getting pretty dang close to maybe firing this thing today. We feel fairly confident about it. A lot of the lighting wiring's done. Engine harness is untouched, so once we get power and ground everything, it should be okay in theory. So pro, we have drag radials thanks to Owen. Pretty dang new ones too. I think they've had a few passes, but we have a little bit of a fitment issue. Fortunately, we're not too attached to this here, so we're just going to trim it back to the inner fender, pinch weld, kind of following the radius, and maybe throw a couple tacks on it, but that'll work. We'll have enough clearance, and the axle actually droops. Just with the angle of these, it gets a little too tight, so that'll be much safer, and I'm sure no one will notice. We're learning clearance things because you shouldn't be able to put an LS and a turbo in a Mustang this small. So to get the rearmost plug-in, we actually had to take the manifold loose again and take some V-bands off, but it does come out. It's just so packed in here to not hit the firewall, hit the frame rails, hit the steering stabilizer. That's what we had to do. So yeah, one plug down. Hopefully the next three are easier on this side. I got the other bank done in like 5 minutes because it's an LS. So yeah, we're doing that. Button the exhaust back up, and I think we can start doing the wastegate, throw the turbo on, and maybe, I guess, plumb the air filter.
I'm not worried about cranking. I really just want to see if we let all the magic smoke out, or if we can read from nobody 2-port, set the tune off.
All right, go for it.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nervous?
Yes. Cool. There was no sparks. There's no load. That's good.
Okay. Hello. That's not supposed to be on, is it?
It sounds like something is trying to be on, but
yeah.
It's not on. I don't know, but we do have power to the computer.
Right, but I'm not turned on. Like,
how can you tell?
My power is not on.
Oh,
so it's got.
No, that did it.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, well, that green light's always on.
Is it always on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the blue light is when we have power to the computer.
Do I hit the crank just to see if magic happens? Just a bump.
Just to see the startle bump. Try it. Yeah, there's no pan, but
well, I
just
also
to bump
don't.
It over.
I don't think it'll bump anyway.
Woo!
Ah, it worked.
All right, well that's cool. The car feels a little bit alive.
Yeah.
Ah, my heart jumped.
Well, that's excellent. This thing should run.
Yeah.
Let's finish it up and go drag racing.
Second wind.
Hey guys, I didn't hear a socket in the engine anymore either.
Oh, it did sound healthier, yes.
Yeah. You know what? That's probably why it sounds so weird.
Maybe.
Been a minute since the last update, but this is all getting buttoned up. We're working on coil relocation now before we throw the exhaust back on. Tied up a few things, just wiring and fans in the engine bay, but this has all been loomed, done up nicely. Auxiliary powered fuse panel for any future lights or whatever else gets added. And yeah, it's all pretty sanitary with grommets, and these are pretty sweet. They're these lugs that are actually wired into the car, so you can jump it or jump another car really super easily. So lots of really good Wirecare stuff on here. Thanks again, Steve, for helping us out. This just needed tons of help. So from the branded heat shrink to all these different colors of stuff. We've even got some shrinkable loom. I don't know if I showed that earlier. That stuff's pretty dang cool. So looks good. Engine cranks, we know that. So on to getting the pan, the drain, and coils back on. That's pretty much it. Scale of 1 to 10, how confident are you this thing's staying on for good? For the week. For the week.
Yeah. So you're talking about the turbo?
Yeah.
I don't know, like a 7 or 8.
That's passing.
Pretty high confidence, yeah.
Like a C+.
F+. Yeah.
I'll take that. I mean, we're down to, what, coils, more body wiring, and an oil pan.
Yeah.
We're getting there. We're getting there. A couple fittings we need tomorrow morning, but no reason this shouldn't fire. We know it cranks. Heck yeah. I believe in you.
Fire pit.
It's like midnight on the last day. This is what you do, is make Kaylee...
What is wrong with you?
No! Morning of day 4. You are looking at the mad thrash to get this thing running and out the street doing the thing. In Mexico, obviously. Grill's done. Working on just an oil drain. So got some of this to cut and kind of fit from used pieces. Thanks, Owen. Wiring's getting pretty close. We know it cranks. It does some of the things. Shifter's going in, seats going in. I think the taillights even work. So once drain and feed are done, and we've got one wiring harness to make for the coils we relocated down there. Kind of see we actually cut the coil bracket in half and mounted them sideways, but it works. So need that for spark. A couple wires. Seat. That's pretty much it. Little bit of a tech tip when you're doing a kind of sloppy coil relocation. Just snapping these back on, if you flipped the brackets, will end up with your firing order incorrect. So we labeled these, so we plug them in the correct direction. So I don't have to repin the harness on the top side. All we got to do is extend this about 9 inches. Everything hooks up. So I'm building this just quick with these, you know, aircraft heat shrink deals we used before. They seem to be working awesome, and just fire coils. So it should all be good. Got a whole bunch more Wirecare goodies here. Awesome color matched everything, so that's great. We got everything we need to build this thing and make it look right. Little hack before I peel it off. Getting this many wires through the loom, especially using a smaller one, kind of tough. I just electrical tape the ends together, slide on my heat shrink on either end, slide on the harness sheathing I've got here, and my other heat shrink for the other end. So that'll kind of hold steady. I'll just peel this off the rest of the way and heat shrink the rest of them. Should be done in a couple minutes. That is the spaghetti monster that is going to make relocated coils work. A lot of screwing around. Might even throw some extra heat stuff over it if I can fit it, but good enough.
Okay. I can get to it, but it's a pain.
But I only have one hole. Do you have a hole?
So anyway, trying to load the tune that Derek sent, and that way we can compensate for the AUS 1000cc injector, the turbo, so you can pull a bunch of timing out of it so it doesn't send rocks to the side of the block.
Purist's gonna be mad. We're gonna cut up this pristine original 67 hood. It's I mean, we still have that panel. We can Zeus that back in. So turbo hole. These are gonna be all the custom aluminum louvers we got made here by our buddy at Arizona Welding and Fabrication. So awesome work there.
Exhaust pipe. Your exhaust pipe. The exhaust pipe for the punish tank. See this hook? It's a punishing hook. If you're standing there, it's going to grab your ankle and punish you. Now we're getting ready to put in the exhaust. This is it, like from turbo all the way out. You've got an exhaust system. This baby is about to roar.
So first test fire, it's base tune, calculated chaos, remote tuned this in, 01 Hawks, loaded it up, and Imperial Beach Dad is gonna give it the first fire. It's gonna start the first time, every time.
Otherwise, we lose the shot.
Oh, we're gonna lose the shot, hit it! That's awesome, do it again. It runs for a second, guys. We've tried to crank it, I don't know, half a dozen times, and it does run, and it sounds decent. But
I just got a compliment from an actual, like a good builder.
Stop. Nobody will ever believe you.
Yeah, well, they build 1 in 2,000 horsepower here. I build things that won't even stay running stock, so. At any rate, the turbo spins, coil relocation is a success. Obviously, it's running on all 8, which is awesome. So that means all 8 injectors, all 8 coils. Hasn't melted anything yet. So phone a friend, get Derek from Calculated Chaos to maybe remote in again and monkey with it some more. Stay tuned. So we're still doing a little tuning. It was dieseling, come to find out. Basically, the fan was creating voltage by spinning after the engine shut off, so it would continue backfeeding voltage to the ECU and everything, and doing weird stuff after ignition was cut. So fix that. Probably just needs a diode or something. Other than that, runs awesome. Sounds like it's making boost. So. I love that. Dude, this thing does such epic rollers, you have no idea.
So the
Just
new
did first
injector
test
dad is
drive,
in
so,
it, on a 2-bar
yeah,
map now.
Luis,
and
who built our transmission from Kreative Street Designs, is gonna finish the segment swap, so it'll shift right. That's it. We've just been having some issues, and once again, thanks, Luis. Huge help, and kind of come in the 11th hour, but everything else fits. No crazy leaks, no crazy noises. It's just shift pattern, basically. So we're gonna make it. I feel pretty confident. Like 78%. Now we got trouble in River City. So just because of the mad thrash, come to find out with this 4-link just being so short, the drive shaft actually kind of pulls out of the transmission too far at full ride height. So I guess the springs were not fully compressed, or it was a little closer to full droop than it should have been, and engagement is not bueno. So we're looking for a new drive shaft yoke with a 1350 or 1330 U-joint. See if we can toss it back together and put limit straps on the axle so it can't kind of ram itself into the output shaft of the transmission. Doing some math to figure out U-joints and see if this, what remains of this drive shaft will maybe replace ours. But it looks possible. Good morning, race fans. We made it. Late night last night catching up with all our friends, but the Mustang actually got in at about 4 a.m. and is currently over in tech, so I think we're about to race the new turbo setup. It's going to be pretty awesome to see what this thing runs. I think the last time it was raced, it was somewhere in the 14s, but easily a 10-second car if everything works together, the slicks, or the drag radials, all that. So we're going to go catch up with Matt if we can and see how he does.
We need a metal between the driver and the gas tank. So it could be aluminum or steel. My thinking is we take the door panels off and tape those in place, or tech screw them if we have to. And I think that will pass tech. And he didn't check the park entry safety, which does not work. Essentially, we laid a really good wiring infrastructure, and nothing works. So like, there are wires that will run turn signals, but they don't work. There's a wire
turn
that
signals
runs
don't work?
the reverse light, but nothing's hooked up. So that's
The turns don't work? I know the reverse light works. The reverse light works.
everything got tested, so it had the appearance of working. But by the time we left, nothing worked.
Okay.
And it's still dieseling when you can take the key out and hold it up in the air before the car turns off.
So the fan's still doing that.
Relay, yeah, so I think basically everything's going to need to be on a relay because going through that key switch is just too much. But whatevs, we can fix that early in the day. And I can't have passengers if I run as fast as I hope to. So that's kind of a bummer. I was hoping to bring the kids along, but that's okay.
Let's there goes our boy. That bucket's about to make a pass. Of course, followed by the ute and the skateboard. All right.
That black Mustang was an L7. Walked up the other Mustang like 1397, 104 to a 1558 at 9437.
13s.
Yeah, that's good. In the 13s, that's pretty quick for 4.3 pounds of boost.
Well, racing's over. My buddy Richard actually won that hoopty challenge for the turbo cars, and our mutual friend Justin won the NA class. Both running like really fast, 10s on the turbo. So awesome event. If you can ever make it out to Duct Tape or Zip Tie Drags, they're just one of my favorites. I think we're gonna watch some burnouts, have a couple pops, and probably just catch up with our friends. So we'll see you on the next episode of Mad Scientist Garage. Thank you as always for watching. Share with your friends, hit like, subscribe if you please, and see more of the crazy things we like to get into with hot rods.